Alright, let's talk about today. Luckily, I try and think every day is a good day because. Uh, anyway, I did have an alright day today. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was alright. So, today consisted of. I don't know what I did in the morning. Was today the day I woke up late? Or was that another day? I don't remember. Look, I had a nanny nap in the middle of the day, which sort of blanks my memory. But I did go for a walk with Emma. I took her for a walk while the parents and sister was cleaning up the house. And it was a nice walk. We went to the playground, which wasn't as fun this time. She was being a little bit temperamental, I guess. I had a damn decent chat with my Philippine mate, talking about customization on my scooter that I want to do. Well, I wouldn't say customization. I'd say just like bag racks, like luggage racks here, maybe a different seat, maybe a luggage rack at the front. Nothing crazy. But yeah, I did have a great chat with him. However, I ended up getting busy and I spent some family time. So I told him I'll be back, and we've chatted on and off since then. We've also chatted a little bit because of this next story, I'll say. But yeah. So and it's like I had a nanny nap, um, as well, which doesn't help my memory loss. Generally, that makes me just have a blank. But let's talk about what's fired me up. So I've worked at this school over three principals, or maybe two. I don't know, but let's just say three. Nah, it could be two. Let's just say two. Principal A and Principal B. Principal B is the new one who's tearing the school apart, and Principal A is she was alright. I don't really remember her, but I know she was super quiet, but she was good. Anyway, so Principal A, every time we had an issue like HR or my contract. This is about contract, so we'll say contract. Every time I had a contract issue or the contract would expire, she would tell me a couple of weeks beforehand, and we would renew the contract, and the contract would get renewed. Problem solved. I don't know how to word this. I think I've already done a video on this, but everyone doesn't like Principal B because she's firing some. Like, here's a good example. Some teachers have had work at this school for 7 years and they have not had permanency yet, whatever that means. I don't know, this is all gossip. And some teachers have been there for 6 months and they got permanency, whatever that means. I just presume it means they stay there. So there's been a lot of commotion with this new principal, whether it's been firing people, replacing people, turning the school upside down, making everyone move, having no contractors, making the groundsmen move everything. There's been a lot of issues with this principal, a lot of them. And this is the thing that grinds my gears. So for the past month, I know my contract's going to expire because there's three groundsmen, two. There's like, I don't know, it's a weird one, but let's say there's three groundsmen at my school. We're all concerned about our contracts, every one of us, because we don't know if we're going to get a new contract, and that doesn't bother us. We just want to know if we're getting renewed or if we should go looking for another job. It's that simple. So I talked to not even my line, I didn't even speak to my line manager. I just spoke to the business manager, the woman who hired me at the school. She's a lovely woman. She's the one I generally go through. She's not my business manager, but I treat her like one. And she said, whatever you do, don't come into work next week. I said, like, she said that to me. And I said, why? I said, why don't you want me to work tomorrow? And she goes, oh, because your contract's expired. And because your contract's expired, you technically don't have insurance. So if you hurt yourself in school, you're not insured. And I said, what do you mean? I said, no one's spoken to me. I said, no one. I mean, yeah, I knew this would probably happen because the principal doesn't speak to anyone. But no one said it. She goes, yeah, no, actually, I don't want to say what she said, but basically, she said, No one knows anything. She's firing people randomly. She's not telling people. She's not bringing back contracts. She's not telling people about contract. And here's a good example. Right, this is I blanked a lot of this stuff out because it's all private. But here's my contract. I was going to come into work tomorrow. My contract expires tonight. I'm learning about this shit tonight, the last day of my contract. And you know what? I still have shed keys, school keys, like a printer card to print stuff. I still have tons of school stuff, and I might even have stuff in the shed that I want. That's mine. I don't think so, but I might. The fact that she doesn't speak to me. I don't think I'm fired because my contract has been terminated. But that's fired, right? If my contract is out, I'm technically fired, right? Because my Philippine mate was like, well, technically you're not fired because your contract's just gone away. Which, yes, I understand. I do agree with him. I don't think I'm fired. But without a contract, I don't have work. So, I mean, isn't it the same thing? Anyway, so here's another example. Look, this is only half of them. But this person, goodbye. This person left school. This person, goodbye. Look, 12th. This person, goodbye, 12th of the 10th. This one's the 11th. This one might not be valid. But the point is, everyone's leaving. These are all teachers, all leaving. Some of these have been there for years, and I mean years. Like, it's freaking crazy. And there's at least, I've got here in front of me, since I'm not showing camera, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I've got 9 other final goodbyes, all in the past 2 months. And that one that was on the 7th. Oh, that one that was on the 7th was Principal A. I guess that was her actually leaving. So I've got 8 people with a final goodbye message. Like, it's just crazy. It's just absolute crazy. There's zero communication, nothing. Like, I'm out of a job. That's it. And she didn't tell me. She didn't communicate with me. She didn't say anything. Nothing. And that's what fires me up. It just feels so... What word shall I use? Unprofessional. That's the word. It feels so unprofessional. Absolute crap. So I'm trying to speak to the other groundskeepers. One says he doesn't have any work on the holidays. And the other one might be asleep. But it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. You reckon they'll give you some kind of communication when your contract is about to expire? And I don't mean expire today. I mean about to expire, you know? Like, oh, your contract's going to expire in 2 weeks. You know, let's have a chat. Oh, shit. I don't know what to think. I guess I'm a little bit too fired up as well. But crazy. Absolute cheat. Principal B is pathetic. Pathetic. Anyway, I've also tried to fix my front fairing on my scooter by refoaming it and redesigning it for the 3rd time. And I'm talking to my Philippine mate about more pipe parts and stuff, but I don't know, I think this has worked me up. I've got to go. But it's been a good day, a busy day. And as I say, every day's a good day, and it was. I had a great day. No, I didn't have a great day. You know, honestly, the highlight of today was talking to my Philippine mate and discussing dreams that I want to do to the scooter. It's not much, but it was a good conversation. Well, you know, I love that rear end, dude. That's such a nice rear end. I hate the seat, but I love that rear end. Especially that tail light. That was awesome. But you know, it was a really nice chat. I would say the highlight was looking after Emma, but it wasn't. I think talking to my Philippine mate was probably the highlight. It was just good. I enjoyed it, and I mean, it wasn't much competition today, but it was good. Anyway, peace. Oh, actually, I did talk to my American mate. That was good. as well. And I also talked to his mother today, which wasn't the best chat because it was a very short chat. I rang her up at the wrong time. She couldn't really talk, to be honest. But yeah, I did talk to a few people today. Anyway, peace.